People have to wonder, where does Hostin get her opinions?
Yeah.
Like you said, and it's obviously from her husband. She has to tell her to say on The View, because without it, she's got nothing up there. She's not very bright. So, but the problem with her is that she went full racist. Didn't want to upset her husband by saying her husband may do everything, and then she'd have to accuse him of being a racist. Because if he told her that white women do, then he's a racist.
Greg Gutfeld's fiery takedown of Sunny Hostin has set social media ablaze, fueling heated debates on late-night talk shows. What started as a tense exchange on The View quickly spiraled into a larger cultural moment, exposing the cracks in the media's obsession with virtue signaling, identity politics, and accountability. The controversy unfolded during a discussion on The View about identity politics and social justice, topics Hostin has long championed. Known for her outspoken stance on these issues and her willingness to call out others for their moral shortcomings, she suddenly found herself in the hot seat when surprising revelations surfaced about her own family history. It turned out that her ancestors had ties to slavery, an irony that didn't go unnoticed by the public. Sunny Hostin, a prominent co-host of The View, has long been recognized for her unwavering commitment to social justice. She has consistently used her platform to advocate for accountability concerning historical injustices, urging individuals and institutions alike to confront and rectify past wrongs. However, recent revelations about her own family's ties to slavery have thrust her into an unexpected controversy, challenging the very principles she champions. The discovery of her ancestral connection to slavery was undoubtedly a profound personal revelation for Hostin. Such information can evoke a complex mix of emotions, from sorrow and guilt to a deeper understanding of one's heritage. In the public eye, Hostin chose to address this sensitive topic by acknowledging it as a part of her family's history, describing it as just a fact of life. This response, intended perhaps to convey acceptance and resilience, was met with mixed reactions. Critics argued that by not delving deeper into a public discourse on her family's past, she missed an opportunity to exemplify the introspection and accountability she often advocates for others. Enter Greg Gutfeld, the sharp-tongued host of Gutfeld, known for his incisive commentary on cultural and political matters. Gutfeld seized upon this moment, not merely to critique Hostin personally, but to highlight what he perceives as the contradictions inherent in identity politics and performative activism. He posited that when complex issues like historical responsibility are distilled into oversimplified narratives, it can lead to unintended hypocrisy. In Hostin's case, her perceived dismissal of her own family's history, juxtaposed with her calls for others to confront theirs, served, in Gutfeld's view, as a poignant example of this inconsistency. The aftermath of these events rippled through the media landscape. On The View, a show celebrated for its dynamic discussions and debates, there was an observable tension. The co-hosts, who typically engage in spirited dialogues, appeared subdued, perhaps grappling with the delicate nature of the controversy. Whoopi Goldberg, renowned for her candidness, seemed unusually reserved, indicating the sensitivity surrounding the topic. Conversely, the atmosphere on Gutfeld was markedly different. Gutfeld and his co-hosts approached the situation with a blend of humor and critique, aiming to underscore what they perceived as the inconsistencies in Hostin's stance. Their discussions, while laced with jest, were rooted in a broader commentary on the pitfalls of moral absolutism and the challenges of navigating personal history within public advocacy. Adding another layer to the discourse, Rosie O'Donnell, a former co-host of The View and a vocal commentator on societal issues, offered her perspective. Sunny Hostin, a prominent co-host of The View, has long been recognized for her unwavering commitment to social justice. She has used her platform to advocate for accountability regarding historical injustices, urging individuals and institutions alike to confront and rectify past wrongs. However, recent revelations about her own family's ties to slavery have placed her at the center of an unexpected controversy, one that challenges the very principles she has passionately defended. The discovery of her ancestral connection to slavery was undoubtedly a profound personal revelation for Hostin. Such information can evoke a complex mix of emotions: sorrow, guilt, curiosity, and even a deeper appreciation for one's heritage. But when Hostin addressed the matter publicly, she downplayed it, calling it just a fact of life. This response, intended perhaps to convey acceptance and resilience, was met with sharp criticism. Many argued that by not engaging in deeper self-reflection or public dialogue, she missed an opportunity to model the very accountability she has often demanded of others. Enter Greg Gutfeld. The sharp-witted host of Gutfeld wasted no time in seizing upon the controversy, but his critique went beyond a simple jab at Hostin. He framed the situation as a broader indictment of identity politics and performative activism. In Gutfeld's view, when complex issues like historical responsibility are distilled into oversimplified narratives, hypocrisy becomes inevitable. He pointed out that Hostin's apparent dismissal of her own family's history, while simultaneously calling for others to reckon with theirs, highlighted the inconsistencies of the ideology she promotes. The fallout was immediate and far-reaching. On The View, a show known for its spirited debates, the mood was noticeably tense. The co-hosts, usually eager to engage in hard-hitting discussions, seemed reluctant to fully address the controversy. Even Whoopi Goldberg, typically unafraid to speak her mind, appeared measured in her response. The show's audience, however, was anything but silent, with many taking to social media to express their opinions on Hostin's predicament. Meanwhile, Gutfeld took a decidedly different approach. His panelists reveled in the moment, using humor to underscore what they saw as the contradictions in Hostin's stance. The discussion was laced with satire, but the underlying message was clear. Identity politics, when applied inconsistently, can collapse under its own weight. Rosie O'Donnell, a former View co-host and outspoken media figure, also weighed in, offering a more balanced critique. She noted that identity politics often oversimplifies history, reducing nuanced discussions to black and white moral judgments. O'Donnell argued that Hostin's revelation could have been an opportunity for growth and introspection, but instead, it became another media firestorm that distracted from the real issues at hand. The controversy also reignited broader conversations about cancel culture and moral absolutism in the media. While some defended Hostin, arguing that individuals shouldn't be held responsible for the actions of their ancestors, others pointed to the irony of her predicament. The question arose, is it fair to demand accountability from others while exempting oneself from similar scrutiny? Social media erupted with divided reactions. Some users mocked Hostin, viewing the situation as a moment of poetic justice. Others saw it as an unfair attack, suggesting that no one should be blamed for their lineage. But the core issue remained. If Hostin has built her career on calling out others for their moral failings, shouldn't she be willing to apply that same standard to herself? Beyond Hostin, this controversy shed light on the broader flaws in cancel culture and identity politics. These movements often thrive on clear-cut narratives, but when faced with complexity, they can falter. Gutfeld's takedown resonated because it exposed how these ideologies sometimes prioritize spectacle over genuine conversation. For The View, the repercussions were significant. Hostin's credibility took a hit, but more than that, the show itself faced scrutiny for avoiding the tough conversations it claims to champion. Gutfeld extended his critique beyond Hostin, challenging the media's selective outrage and its disconnect from everyday audiences. For Gutfeld, this was a defining moment. His unique mix of humor and sharp analysis solidified his standing as a commentator unafraid to challenge mainstream narratives. While traditional late-night talk shows struggle to hold viewers' attention, Gutfeld's approach has found a growing audience tired of one-sided discussions. But this story is far from over. How Hostin responds in the coming weeks could determine whether she regains public trust or if this controversy permanently alters her image. Will she embrace the moment as a learning opportunity, demonstrating the same introspection she urges others to practice? Or will she attempt to downplay the situation, hoping the news cycle moves on? Either way, the conversation about accountability, hypocrisy, and media influence is far from finished.